10, 9.
You want answers? I want the truth!
Get ready for two guys who can't handle the truth.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
But we can. Dave Palumbo, Chris Aceto. RxMuscle.com presents Heavy Muscle Radio. Watch out!
Welcome to another episode of Heavy Muscle Radio. I'm Dave Palumbo, and I'm joined, as always, by the technician, Chris Aceto, on this November 26th, 2018 evening. And Chris, big show this past weekend, the Romania Pro. We've been seeing a lot of European shows recently popping up. You think the contest calendar year is over, and then another show pops up on the list. It was held in the city of Transylvania, although it's not called Transylvania anymore.
Oh, I didn't know it was in Transylvania.
Yeah, Tim Gardner and Wings of Strength put this thing on again.
Yeah, I always thought Transylvania was just a cartoon city until, I don't know, I think until I got into like the 8th grade and found out it was a real city.
Yeah. It's Bucharest they had it in. Bucharest, Romania. I think that's from where Elena Popa is from, isn't it?
Elena Popa, I think she is from there. I think you're right.
Who's the current reigning, whatever they call it, the Rising Phoenix World Bodybuilding Champion,
Well, she's not going to have much competition from the Russian girl who people have been talking about.
Yeah, did you see that picture of that girl? What was her name? She has an interesting name.
I don't even know.
Is she Russian? Is that where she's from?
Well, she's got like an internet presence, People know her on the show.
Her name
she
is
looks freaky.
Natalia.
The Russian girl.
Yes, I'm reading her name here for people who don't know. They can look her up. Natalia Amazonka.
Yeah.
I gotta get Eugene Mission to give me the pronunciation for it. Natalia Amazonka, and she looks. There's a picture on her Instagram that she looks like Miss Olympia, like no one can beat her. And then she got her pro card. I think she only beat a couple girls on Saturday or Friday, I think it was, in the Romania amateur show. And then the next day she competed in the pro show, and I don't think she did very well. I'll tell you. I got the scorecards here. She got killed, but she didn't. It was like she looked like a different person.
Oh, did she compete? Are you sure she competed in the pro show?
I don't know. Maybe she didn't.
I can't imagine.
I see. No, maybe that's not the same person. No, maybe she didn't do the pro show. Oh, so those pictures and video we saw of her, that was from the amateur show that she won.
Yes.
Yeah, she was not hard. She was not hard at all. On her Instagram, that one picture she put, I don't know if it's filtered or photoshopped or if it's just another
just
show.
Downright like created or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with it, but she was crazy shredded there. And then at the show, she wasn't that big, but she's huge. She's got a lot of muscle in her, but she's definitely not in shape. She might have been on the Ramy diet for the show. Maybe
Ramy's changing his diet, so we're gonna.
Well, Ramy's now working, as anyone who watched my interview with Neil Hill last week will tell you. Neil Hill is now working with him. Neil tells me that Ramy contacted him, which I believe. I don't.
Yeah, it's believable.
Neil's not really an ambulance chaser like some of these other guys out there. How do you think he'll do with Neil? Your predictions have been very, very accurate lately.
He will look similar to what he's looked like.
You don't think Neil's going to bring him down in weight and really dry him out?
We will wait and see.
Okay. When I asked Neil what he thinks he needs to do with him, he says bring him down in weight. So we'll see. But, it's easier said than done. I think what happens is, and you have said this before, that when guys start dieting Ramy, they start panicking a little bit because he doesn't look as impressive sometimes when his weight starts coming down, and they start making that dreadful mistake. You stop the diet right before they start really looking good, that kind of thing. Yeah, that happens. Guys, sometimes you diet guys and they start to look really flat and they're complaining and they think they look terrible. And I'm like, look, you got to get through this flat and fat stage, and all of a sudden one day they just wake up and they look great again, because everything just kind of clicks. I think people are afraid. You might be right to bring Ramy down in weight. He starts to look too much like all the other competitors,
Yeah. You were gonna, it'll be interesting.
I think it'll be all right with Neil.
There'll be, I can guarantee this, there'll be filtered photos. At least for sure. That's for damn sure. That's the one thing I'm sure of.
Well, what's going on with all the filtered photos that are out there now? It's false advertising. I don't know. It's terrible. I don't believe any pictures anymore from anyone, to be honest with you.
I know I've helped multiple people this year win multiple shows, and none of them would have been able to win those shows based on pictures. They'd probably be like 6 at the highest, including like Roden, including Jose, including Kamal. I mean, Zane. You can go right down the list.
I did a rant a couple months back about
even the guy who just won we're just talking about the show in Romania.
Yeah.
I was helping the guy win the classic, and if you look at pictures of other people running into the show, it'd be like an 8th place guy.
I know, it's crazy.
I mean it.
I did a rant about that exact topic, and I was basically saying, some of my clients were sending me filtered pictures for their update pictures. I'm like, what are you doing? How am I supposed to make changes if I don't know how you look for real? And now when I get updates from guys that like no filter, they write on the thing because they realize how ridiculous it is.
That would be like saying, how's the Fiberlize numbers for the month? You want the fake numbers or the real numbers?
Right.
We want. Yeah, I want to know. Do they order 10,000? Containers or 100,000?
There's people out there who lie.
Just tell Dave we sold 100,000 this week of Fiberlize.
That's right. Actually, speaking of Fiberlize, it's today is what's called Cyber Monday. Obviously last Friday was Black Friday, and we had a big sale. Sold a lot of protein. This is Cyber Monday, so I decided to, make a new sale because we sold a lot of 50% off last week for 2 days, which we sold. I don't know how many we sold. I'll just make up a number. We sold 10,000 units, so which sounds like a lot. God forbid we sold 10,000 units. People in my warehouse, fulfillment warehouse, would have quit on me. And this Monday, we're going to have what I'm calling Fiber Monday. Instead of Cyber Monday, it's going to be Fiber Monday. And we are having an outrageous 40% off sale on Fiberlize. So all those people who listen to the show who can't poop or who realize, hey, I really need that product, but maybe they couldn't afford it, now they have an opportunity. You guys better act quickly because at the end of today, it's not going to be available anymore. So 40% off at speciesnutrition.com, and that's Fiber Monday, which sounds much better to me than Cyber Monday.
Fiber Monday.
Yes, Fiber Monday. I know a few people who could. Guy Cisternino probably buy 25 cases today.
No.
He's one of my biggest probably my biggest single customer and most consistent single customer is Guy Cisternino, because for him, if he can't poop, it's a tragic day.
He's got a little system down. He wakes up, puts the Fiberlize, and then a coffee. He laughs at people who are like all bound up.
Well, you know what the truth is, he's right. It works. People are idiots. I know people that use it for like their shows, and then they stop taking it off season when they're eating 25 meals a day, and then they're like wondering why their waist is like 16 inches bigger and they can't go to the bathroom. People think because they go to the bathroom twice a day that they're actually emptying their colon. When you're eating 8 meals a day, and if you're only going twice a day, you're probably not going enough.
True.
And that's so you can still have fecal retention if you're not going enough. They actually had I got to take my hat off to the Wings of Strength people. Like, I don't agree with everything they do and everything like that, but they're putting a lot of money, infusing a lot of money into the bodybuilding industry. So whenever that happens, I have to tip my hat at them. So. I mean, I'm sure they lost a ton of money on this show. There's no way they made money on the show. There's no sponsors. It's just them, So they obviously footed the bill. And as you know, Chris, pro shows don't make any money because you got to give prize money out. You got to pay sanction fees. So it's a labor of love, essentially. Now, people might complain, they only really support women's bodybuilding, but this show was a full show. They had men's bodybuilding, and there was 24 guys in the show. Max Charles, emerges victoriously. Good move on Max's part, right? Haven't seen him for quite a while. Saves it up for this show. Shows up and
he's competed. I mean, he's competed.
Yeah, but he didn't
do
that well. And then he didn't do the Olympia. He laid low. He didn't do any of the European tours. He waited till the end of the year, did this show, won it, probably won a bunch of money, and now he's qualified for the Olympia next year.
Yep.
Who's smarter than he is?
Well, I mean, you do enough shows, you know what I mean? I mean, you catch people off, or you either catch people off, or sometimes you catch them off and you're on.
Yeah.
It looked like both. I mean, it looked
Clarence
like...
DeVise won last week, that George Farah show that they had in Italy, and now he was second here, so he picked up, some decent prize money at the end of the year.
What was the prize money? What did Max get?
It's a good question. Let me see if I can find out the answer to that question. I feel like myself becoming Steve Wennerstrom, because Steve Wennerstrom, who is the women's IFBB historian, was always. I think he's the one who brainwashed me into you have to announce the prize money when you put the winnings. When you put up who won the show.
You love doing that on the play-by-play.
Yeah, because you know what, Pete, it's interesting. I find it interesting to see how much money, especially at the Olympia level. I always put the prize money or the Arnold. I don't know. They don't have it listed here on the Romania poster, the Romania Pro poster. But I bet they want a decent amount. I know they're not cheap, those women's. But then again, when you don't see the prize money, maybe that's not a good sign either.
Yeah.
There are some minimums. There are minimums that they have to pay, I think, for certain classes. I know the men's open is the highest minimum. So I see Brad Rowe is 5th place.
Yeah, you look good.
Andrea Presti from Italy was 4th.
You look good.
3rd place was Mohammed Shaban from Egypt. He's good too. Yep.
It was a good lineup.
Yeah, so
Max didn't beat just. I mean, there was quote not a lot of I hate that word names because we don't know them doesn't mean they're not very good bodybuilders.
Yeah. I guess Transylvania still exists. It's a historical region which today is located in central Romania.
Funny, huh?
Yeah. Well, they should keep it because it's everyone thinks of that as like the haunted capital of the world, I guess you could say. Right?
Yeah, I thought you went to the haunted capital. Wasn't that like in Italy or when you went to the Italy show?
Yeah, there was some kind of castle there, but I don't think it was haunted. It was a whole tourism thing, but I don't think it was really haunted. Transylvania is just known for Dracula. Isn't that where Dracula is from?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't want to misspeak. Wait a minute, because I'm only going by my cartoon knowledge.
Cartoon knowledge. I know the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse that I watch with my son every night has an episode in Transylvania there.
You got to get him into what's it? Worldwise word girl. I don't know where they learn how to spell.
Oh, there's a show where they learn how to spell?
Yeah, that's, I forget the name.
He knows Logan. He can almost spell Logan, I think he can. He seems to know my name, because he watches videos on my phone all the time, and I'm always saying it's Dave Palumbo. This is Dave Palumbo with RxMuscle.com. So Amanda says to him, she's like, what's Daddy's name? And he knows Dave. He knows.
Well, I'm glad he didn't say RxMuscle.
Yeah, he didn't say RxMuscle, right. He knows my name. He recognizes
I wonder if he wonders... I wonder at what point he's going to think that it's not normal to have 500 snakes outside your bedroom.
He loves the animals. They're not outside my bedroom, luckily. They're in another building.
You need to start... You need to... did you spill the beans that you are purchasing the property next to you?
Yeah, I purchased it. I think we're going to close this coming week, on the property.
I've said from day one, here's a prediction.
Okay.
I said, because you showed me that property, and when I came last year or the year before with my kids, and I said, it's perfect. You can, expand horses. You can have, a little animal kingdom.
That's what I wanted to. I want to open a zoo there. The only person I would sell it to would be
Palumbo's Animal Kingdom. It's like Lee Haney's.
That's right. We could put a gym on that too. If I hit the lottery, Amanda and I are going to put a gym on it. The only person that Amanda and I would consider selling it to would be you. But you'd have to live there, 365 days a year. There's no one else we want living next door to us except the Aceto clan.
Yeah, exactly. Then you find out how crazy we are.
Then I might. Then you'll become like the roadcaps.
Is Amanda Italian too?
She's half Italian.
I thought so.
Quarter Italian, I think.
I can blame it on my father's side.
Oh, no, her mom's full Italian, so she's half Italian. Yeah. I got a snickered remark from her. She's like, a quarter? I said, I forgot her mom's full Italian.
Oh, don't insult her.
So
Right.
that means our kids are 3/4 Italian.
3/4.
Yeah.
75% if you're
That's pretty
doing
good.
the homeschooling math.
Homeschooling, yeah.
My kids are in regular school now. They'll say, "Can you help me with this?" I said, "I'm clueless. I don't know what."
Yeah.
First, I'm like, "Where's the work? It's on a computer." I'm like, "Where's the pencil and the algebra?"
They don't write anymore in
Nobody
school?
writes. Nope. No.
Wow.
Nope.
Pretty soon they won't even type. You'll just speak everything, right? I can see that like in 20
Absolutely.
years. No one will be typing anything. They'll just
No, you
speak.
just have a robot do all the work for you.
Well, think about it. You know, the speech recognition is pretty damn good right now. You know,
Very impressed.
but it's not perfect by any means. But pretty soon it'll pick up any nuance of everything. There's no reason you won't even want to write anymore. People just, and then it gets to the point where you can just look with your eye. And didn't you can put like a contact lens in your eye? Remember the technology's there where you can actually move the cursor around with your eye and stuff like that.
Yeah. I see they're doing a contact lens where you can take your blood sugar level. You see that?
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. If you can check your blood sugar with the contact lens, where it's constantly monitoring it.
I think Google's invented it.
I don't doubt that Google invented it. You know, when I drive my car, my BMW X5 truck has it projects holographically onto the bottom of my windshield what the speed limit is where I'm driving, and then what my speed is right next to it. And it could also tell you, like, if you're getting too close to someone, it'll like flash a red warning in front of your face. Mm-hmm. That's what the contact lens is going to be like pretty soon, right? It's just going to flash. You'll just have information coming into your line of sight, you know, constantly, you know.
Well, you need that for a diet. You need like little contact lenses that tell you, you know what, your carbs got to be under 100 today. You wake up in the morning, it tells you under 100, and you'll get peeled. Then you wake up one morning, you think you're supposed to have 100, and then the contact lenses flash and say, nope, you need 300 today and another 60 grams of fat.
Well, think about it. If you can do the blood sugar, it'll give you like a little warning, like in the right in your line of vision, and you'll be able to just blink your eye twice, and your body will just get a shot of insulin right into your wherever you have the little.
Go
monitor.
ahead. What's the next thing? Milos probably, he'll be the first one, so he'll do a pilot study with them.
When I told Milos about the inhaled insulin they have now. He almost lost his mind. He was like he was taking notes. I had to spell it for him, and he couldn't get.
I'm surprised he's not ahead of the curve, and he should be the one telling you about it.
Well, he's probably using it right now. The problem with the inhaled insulin, which is really good, is that it's just too expensive right now. So until they start, someone starts making it in their basement, I don't think we're going to be anyone's going to be using it anytime soon. Yeah, so when you do the inhaled insulin, Chris, it avoids the portal circulation, which is the circulation going through the liver. Mm-hmm. And when insulin goes through the liver, when you take an injection of it, it goes through there. It seems to activate glucagon, and glucagon is a hormone that works opposite of insulin. It actually raises blood sugar by mobilizing, glycogen out of the muscles. So you don't want that, obviously.
That'd be like slowing down going through a green light.
Right. So when you inhale the insulin, it avoids the portal circulation, and supposedly you don't get that glucagon release. So supposedly type 1 diabetics or anyone who's trying to control blood sugar has a much easier time of using the inhaled insulin. It's almost like your own insulin.
Nasser would have been 400 then, but go ahead.
Yes. I never, Chris. I don't know why you are mocking me, because I have never used the insulin. Milos has tried to the opposite. Milos has tried to tell me to take it, and I think he was trying to kill me and harvest my organs, but. That is another story. So I will not. I never have used the insulin. If I had, I would have been like Dorian Godzilla.
Backzilla.
Godzilla. I call him Godzilla too because he has the biggest gut.
Godzilla. Did he call him Godzilla?
I
knew you used to call him Backzilla.
Yeah, Kenny Jones used to call Jay Cutler. What do you call him? Gutler, Jay Cutler. That's what he used to call him. I don't know why they're letting this Jay Cutler win the Arnold Classic. I'm ripped to the bone. I have a 25-inch waist. What's with this Jay Cutler guy? I said, Kenny, you really think you should be beating Jay Cutler? You can't even place top 5. You can't place top 10. You're worried about Jay Cutler? Jay Cutler. That's what he should be called. The funny thing is, Jay had a really good, his waist wasn't small, but genetically, but he had ripped abs. He had a really good midsection on the on the ab thigh shot.
Yeah, he had a tremendous abs and thigh shot, and he had
very few people beat him on that shot, I think.
And he had a great stand relax because he was just wider than everyone.
Yeah. So it's all illusion. That's what I try to explain to Kenny.
Well, I mean, you know what the thing is when you see Jay big in the off season, the first thing you see is delts and width.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see waist. That's for damn sure.
No. Yes, I have beaten Jay Cutler many times, and he had placed 16th when I was placing second.
Jay, look, Jay retired people who thought that like Weider cover favorite of Joe Weider magazine covered guy is just a blonde guy with nothing, and he's never going to be nothing, and he's never going to beat me. And believe me,
he shut him up. Yeah.
You know what? It played with Nasser's head. It played with Dillette's head. Played with a lot of people's head.
Guys who had better genetics than him, probably too. And just because he had better, what it is, his mind was just unbeatable with those guys.
Period.
And they basically crumbled, a lot of those guys.
No.
Nasser made the biggest mistake. Nasser just thought he could never be big enough, and that was what his undoing was. He hit a point in his career where he looked great, and he should have just stuck with that, and he did stuff to his body that put him in harm's way, and it ruined his life, and ultimately led to his death, unfortunately, because he had kidney failure. But that's the sad truth, and I think that's why Nasser was always putting other people down, because he knew that he was doing things he shouldn't have been doing, and he was trying to cover up his own inadequacies and all the stupid shit he was doing. He was calling me the drug, this and that, and the acromegaly. He had a million names for everyone who was bigger than him or who he felt was he was threatened by.
He was like the Trump of bodybuilding.
Yeah.
No, seriously, he would come up with little names for people like Trump would come up with, and he'd hurl them at people. Acromegalia, Dave, Baxilla. What do you call Sean Ray?
I don't even know. He didn't like Sean Ray either.
Oh, he despised him.
Yeah.
He would come up with all little nicknames for people. They're funny now that they're,
Well, we laugh at the whole thing because it was just a stupid, thing on his part. I never took things personally anyway, but I'd rather, to me, the comic relief that came out of it was great. I would have loved to have gotten Nasser, like one of his last interviews. I would have loved to have been the guy who did it. We played that interview that he had done with John Romano and Lee Priest on that show that they were doing, and we played some snippets from it. But Nasser was if you got him on a roll, forget about it. Even if he was making fun of you, even if you were the brunt of the joke, it was still very entertaining because he had so many details, that, and he had such incredible insights into other people, even though they were misguided most of the time. They were funny. He was funny. He should have been a comedian. Is really what he should have been, because he was able to see the absurdity and dissect a situation, even though it was his own warped viewpoint of the situation.
What was his number one pet peeve? What was the way he would separate himself from the pack outside of being bigger than everyone?
Oh, that he was smarter than everyone else. Yeah, everyone else was a bunch of
formally
bumbling
educated.
Idiots. Yeah.
Speak 18 languages and 5 college degrees, and Sean Ray went to high school.
Yeah. Well, that's why I think he didn't like me, because he knew I was as smart as he was.
Oh, yeah. I see the dig.
Yeah.
But
he would have been okay with me if I wasn't big.
You're not a pro. You Dave.
Right. No, but
you
he
might
would have
be
liked
320 pounds. You're 4 pounds smaller than me still, and you all that muscle, and they still don't give you a pro card.
Right. If I was 240, he would have been okay with me. We probably would have been best friends. But because I was like
4 pounds less than him, I just said.
Yeah. I was too close to him and I had an education. There was nothing for him to mock, so he had to mock the fact that I was using more drugs than him, but or he thought I was, or he thought I was. Yeah.
Wink, wink.
So let's so Max Charles. Let's talk about Max for a minute. What'd you think of the way he looked?
I thought he looked good. I thought he looked tight. Max is very good. He's a very good bodybuilder. shades of. He's always, this is a great look. He's had lots of very good. I mean, he's had, you know what? He's had so many good looks that are so close. And of course, the Achilles heel for him. I'm sure he hates to hear this. It's the back double bicep. If he can fix that, the condition from the back. Because I worked with him before.
No, I know you did very successfully too.
Yeah, and he's a good guy, and he works hard, and some shows he's like medium off, some shows he's a little bit more than medium off, and some shows he nails it. When he nails it, in like a show like this, he wins.
The problem is that he's got his legs are just they're not really where they need to be, and so if he gets the right balance of a little bit more fullness to the legs, but yet the good conditioning of the upper body, and the lineup's not too difficult with genetic freaks, he can dominate because he's got a tremendous upper body, and his waist is small, and he's got the crazy arms and delts and shoulders. So he does well in that type of lineup. But once you get guys, where you get a Rulli in the lineup, who has freaky legs, and he gets exposed, and I don't know if it's a genetic thing with him, or if I know he had a knee problem for a while, right?
Yeah, I think he did.
So that makes it difficult, obviously. Whenever if you have a knee problem and you're trying to build legs, it's just really hard,
No, you're right.
Anyway, so I look,
What do you look? What do you think?
I'm looking at the pictures. I thought he looked good. I think it was he did enough to win, and that's really what it amounted to. I mean, it wasn't. Clarence was good. He's like a little. Very good. He's like a little mini Kai Green.
Yep.
I think Max is more impressive because he's just wider and bigger. Clarence looks like he's like kind of like a William Bonac-ish type of guy. Not as gifted as William. He's a guy who looks like he should be a 212 guy, but that he somehow has enough, freakiness.
Yeah, he's too big.
That he could make it in the open. He's like a tweener. He's like not quite an open guy, but he is at the same time. I don't know. So once again, he's a guy like what's his name? The guy from he was in the Olympia this year. He won the Arnold South Africa that time. He's always shredded.
Oh yeah, I forget his name. Peeled.
Crazy Peeled. He's like a guy like that.
The dancing glutes.
Yeah, the dancing glute guy, right? Exactly. I don't know why his name is eluding me. I know I'm going to get 16,000 emails to people telling me who it is, but I'll remember it. But he, he's like a guy like that. Like you don't think he could really win a show, but when you see him up there, he's impressive because he's conditioned. He has good, shape and flow, and so. Those two guys, I think, kind of were in a league of their own. And I think it was
pretty pathetic when you have a radio show and you can't even remember the two of the people on it can't even remember the guy's name. What is the guy's name, right? Come on, he won the Arnold Classic South Africa.
Yeah, I
can tell you he was fourth at the Australia Arnold. Oh my goodness, I can tell you.
That's what happens when you start getting old. You start forgetting.
No, it's when you get kids and they just suck your brain power apart.
Suck your brain. Lucas Oslin.
There you go.
All right, I got it. I'm not losing my mind. I'm not losing my mind. I'm looking at muscle memory. I'm looking at the Olympia results because I feel I actually figured it out before I actually got there. So he took 12th. You know what William Bonac's middle name is? I bet you didn't even know he had a middle name.
Let's see, William Bonac. Let me.
Never in a million years you'd guess it unless you were looking it up.
Alfred.
Kwaku.
I was close. I think Kwaku is the equivalent of Alfred. And I'm just kidding.
Can you imagine if he was raised in America, what the kids would have done, tortured him with that middle name? William Kwaku Bonac. I know I would have been calling him Kwaku. Right? I don't know if I lost Chris again.
Yeah, I had to mute it to sneeze.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that you were. So you should have just let it out.
Well,
Sergio Oliva Jr. By the way,
people may think I'm all coked up.
Yeah. Sergio Oliva Jr. sent me a text message and said that he loved the Hunter Labrada interview I did. You know, Hunter won his pro card, obviously, at Nationals. We talked about that last week. And I got him on the show. It was a great interview. That was the second. I had interviewed him earlier in the year after he won the Junior USA. You know, he's another like Phil Heath. I mean, Phil Heath won the Junior Nationals and then won the USA.
Yep.
JM had told him that was the only person who ever did that, and now Hunter won the Junior USA, not the Junior Nationals. Won the Junior USA and he won the Nationals. So, which that's pretty impressive when you think about it. I didn't even notice. I didn't even come to grips with it. He had never done a national show before this year.
I didn't know that. Oh, I did know that. I didn't know that. Had he even competed before? Did he compete?
He had competed. Yeah, he competed, but at other shows. But he was waiting to do I know his dad had told me because I interviewed Lee Labrada, and he had said, Hunter's waiting until he's ready to where we think he could actually win. To do the show, which is a decent strategy. I guess it's like a Cody Montgomery type of thing. Although Cody never, Cody competed every year, just never lost a show. He did the T Nationals 3 times and then won the USA. That was pretty impressive too.
Yeah,
I must admit.
Yeah.
That might be more
I
impressive.
just posted something about that. It's nobody will ever do that again. Nobody 20 years old will win the overall in the USA Nationals. Won't happen.
Right.
For whatever reason, it's just not going to happen.
You mean the teen nationals and then the
Well, no, not even that. Just that somebody 20 years old is going to win the.
Yeah, Hunter is 26. So I mean, I guess Cody is a little more impressive what he did. I would say, just because of his age.
He couldn't have rented the car. I had to drive him around. Yeah,
it's a great story. If he becomes a very, very dominant pro, I think it'll even be a better story. Because we've heard
it's an unfolding story.
Yeah, well, it is because sometimes you hear these guys, they win the Heisman Trophy in college football. The greatest award you can win, and then they never become good pros. They kind of fizzle out.
People ask me all the time. They say, look at this teenager. It doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter.
Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow won the Heisman. Didn't he win it twice?
I think he did win it twice.
Yeah. And he was a failure as a pro football player. Now he's trying to play baseball.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but he was like the like if you had to be like the most popular guy on campus, like at a college. What did he go to? University of Florida or something like that? Florida.
Yeah, I believe so.
And I mean, he was a god on campus, and he probably could have tried to go to the NFL, after like 1 or 2 years. He won the Heisman Trophy in his second year, and he stayed. He stayed the other 2 years, finished his degree because he was so popular there. It was just like, why should I leave? Other guys would have left for the money, but he was probably making who knows what he was making on the side. He was just like a god there, from what I understand. I don't know how we got into talking about that, but.
Was sidetracked off Cody Montgomery being a teenagers, like being a big deal, like when you're 17 years old, 16 years old, and Now,
in the 212 division in Romania, Chris, I don't know if you saw the pictures of that.
I did, yeah.
Kokani Abella, who from Hungary, won. Don't know him. What's your insights? Do you have any Chris Aceto knowledge about him?
I just thought he was. I don't have any knowledge. I just saw.
How come Jose didn't do this show to end his career with this one? He probably could have gotten the win.
Well, I think there's just, I think he's just like done. I mean, how many shows can you do in the year,
Yeah, I guess Japan was the grand finale for him. He could have snuck another one in.
I mean, you could always put in another show, right?
Would have been nice to end on a win. But I guess at this point it doesn't even matter. Most guys would have finished with the Olympia. He probably had committed already to Japan. I hear they treat them very well, right, in Japan there? Would they fly them?
Yeah, I heard they were treated very well.
Yeah, I understand why you would want to do that. Those for someone like him doing different appearances like that and competing all over the world, he probably makes a lot of contacts that he's going to use later, in business.
Well, he's not dumb. I'm sure that
very good.
Whatever he is doing next, which I know he's looking right now for a gym.
Oh, he is? Really?
Yeah.
That would be good for him. I bet he'd do very well there.
I think he'll do extremely well. I think some people will do well with the gym and some people will not.
He'll hang out there all day, too. He'll be there all day long.
Yeah, he'll turn it into
what you need to do.
cash register.
Look, Steve Weinberger's gym is very successful because, and you know what, you can say what you want about the gym because, you know, Steve runs the NPC. That gym is successful because Steve is there every single day. If he has to fly out to do a show, to judge a show, when he's back, he doesn't go home when he comes from the airport. Lou, the guy who works behind the desk there, picks him up at the airport and brings him to the gym. That's how dedicated he is to that gym. That's why that gym is successful.
Well, you know what? If you're not there, if
People
you're not
steal
there,
from you. The gym goes
you got
downhill.
it. I'm just going to say they steal from you, or you're not there, and 6 months later, people start saying, "What's happening to the gym?"
Right. Well, Steve has cameras on his phone. He watches, so he might as well, even when he's traveling, he might as well. It's like he's there. So, but that's why that gym is successful, and he's always improving it. I mean, it has to be a labor of love. And people always ask me, Dave, how come you don't open a gym, or even earlier in my career, you want to open a gym later? And I said, no, I have no desire to, because I won't be there. That doesn't interest me that much. I like to train myself, but I don't love being in. I don't want to hang out at the gym all day long. It wouldn't float my boat. It's not something I'm into. It's too much for me.
Yeah, some people love it.
Yeah, no, it's like some guys open a bar. You know how like these football players after they open a bar and they hang out at a bar.
I knew you were going to say that. I just knew you were going to say like athletes who open
They
up
love
bars.
it. The guys who like hanging out there and just chatting with people and everything like that. Those guys have successful bars. You open a bar and you're not there, you're not going to make any money. You got to be there. If you want to open a sports bar with your likeness on it, you got to be at the bar. I remember they had that Dangerfields. Remember the Rodney Dangerfield had his comedy place in the city. He was there. He used to be there on the weekends.
Yeah.
I remember there was a junior prom I went to back in the day, and the big thing in Long Island was when you would go to these proms, you'd have to rent the limo. It was a whole expensive nightmare. And after the prom, you get in the limo, and the limos would all go to the city, all of them, and from all the different high schools, right? And they would go to Dangerfield.
16-year-olds? What? Everyone? Yeah.
17, 18, whatever we were.
Yeah.
And you'd go to Dangerfield, and you'd have to. And Dangerfields knew that the proms would come there, and it was a fortune to get in. It was like $80 a person, and you were there. They had like shows every like hour on those nights, and there was like. It was like an hour set you would go in there for. It was a huge. I hated it. I didn't want to do it. I got roped into it. I had to do it. So I go in there. It's a mob scene. We couldn't. I don't even think we got in, but I had to go to the bathroom. So I go down the hallway to the bathroom. I'm looking for this. It's mobbed. It's all kids in tuxedos. It's horrendous. It's like, why did we go? I mean, what would be the purpose of going to this place? But that's where everyone had to go, right? So I'm walking down the thing. I'm going in, and who do I bump into? Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh, that's funny.
Drunk out of his
Oh,
mind.
isn't that funny when you see someone
Smoking
well-known
a
like
cigarette.
that? Yeah.
Hey, kid, what are you doing? I said, holy shit. I didn't even think you'd be at your own comedy club. Who knew? I just thought it was just named Dangerfield. He's like, what do you think? I'm going to trust these guys to run my business? I got to watch over them. I said, well, you performing
funny.
tonight? He's like, no, I don't perform at these. Once in a while, if I get drunk, he goes, I might get up there and tell a few jokes. I said, well, I can't get in here anyway. It's too crazy. I said, you're way overpriced, too. He goes, absolutely. He goes, it's prom night. What do you expect? Have fun, kid. That was it. That was the conversation I had with him. I went and told my friends. They're like, wow, you talked to Rodney Dangerfield? And there was no, of course, back, if it was today, I would have had my phone out. I could have been videotaping.
Of course, you're going to, yeah.
I told them the
But
story.
then
They thought it was like the best thing. I said, you know what? I got my money's worth. I didn't even spend a dime yet on getting into the club. I said, and I can go home and tell everyone that I saw Rodney Dangerfield. No one else saw him. So that was my story. It's pretty funny. The only other time I ran into a quasi celebrity, like in a situation like that, was remember the Paul Schaefer, the guy who was David Letterman's
he used to be
band leader there. Gay band leader.
Band, yep.
We were in a freight elevator together. he was making
Freight, where?
I was doing the Letterman show, and I got into the wrong elevator. I guess the staff would go through this back elevator, I don't know how I got into the wrong elevator. I was trying. I went down to get something in my car, and I went up, and Paul Schaefer and I are in the elevator together. He was making these weird look. He was looking at me really weird. Like, I was really uncomfortable. Then I found out later he was gay. I don't know if he was hitting on me or anything like that. But
Dave, is it gay for pay with Paul Schaefer? He dropped his drawers, locked his leg out. Paul Schaefer made him his boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Dave got his doctor's degree from mail order. I don't think that he knows how to take a pulse or a blood pressure.
Oh, shit, yeah. Good old Nasser. All right, let's get back to this Romania Pro show. So there was the classic guy. You helped now? What's his name? Walid Batut?
Walid Batut. Yeah.
From France.
Yeah.
Good.
Going to the Olympia.
I'll tell you one thing. The guy has tremendous arms. His arms are phenomenal, and he almost reminds me of a Francis Benfato a little bit. Speaking of French guys,
He's got the shoulders and arms like
right?
him.
His legs are a little on the lean side, small side.
They're a little lean, but you know what? They're actually very separated. So I'm sure on stage.
Chris, give him too many diuretics and the sodium restriction. That is right. I eat, to carb up, Chris. I eat the pasta. A lot of these guys do not understand that is how you fill up properly.
The wet pasta.
Nasser, what about the gluten? I do not believe in gluten. So I don't know what these people are talking about with gluten.
If you're on enough trenbolone, it destroys the gluten in the cells. That's a Ron Partlow joke. I hope you're listening, Ron.
Yeah, well, Cedric was a big believer in eating gluten too, right? You have to desensitize. Cedric was a big gluten eater.
Yeah. He says if you cut the gluten, your body may freak out and eat it.
Right. You might go flat for not eating enough gluten.
So Walid, yes, he did win. Congratulations.
So he's going to go to the Olympia next year. That's phenomenal.
To the Olympia. You know what? And I told him when I you know what's so funny, Dave?
Did he put oil on stage?
Huh?
Did he wear oil on stage?
Yeah, he did put oil on. That's not the guy. I'm sure Sammy is listening.
Yeah.
So I told Walid maybe 5 weeks ago. He hadn't even got his pro card yet. I said, "You're going to be in the Olympia this year."
You were right. Your predictions have been coming right tremendously. A lot. You predicted that Phil Heath wouldn't be doing the Olympia next year, and that seems to be what's going to happen.
I was off with the Hanny and Ramy thing, though.
Yeah, you thought that? No, I thought you said he's not going to work with Hanny.
Well, I did, but originally I did. But I had to revise it till he wasn't. And then I think on last week's show I made fun of Hanny again and said he was. But going by Hanny's Instagram, I think he may be competing in it.
Yeah, Hanny's back in training.
Back in training.
Yeah. Jose Rodriguez Sendra from Spain was second. He looked good too.
Yeah, very good.
And
top four were really good. I mean, they were all good, but top four were exceptional.
Kirill Kudelev, I don't know how you pronounce the last name. The guy from the Ukraine was third. He was also good. I thought the top three was very good.
Yeah, he was very sharp. Second and third. Seems like these guys from Spain get really hard.
I see the guy from Kuwait was fifth. Mansour Enber.
I'll have to look him up and email Bader to see what's happening.
I haven't heard anything from Bader. I'm wondering if I'm going to see him in Dubai. If he'll be there, you think Bader might?
No, he won't be there. No. Low profile.
All right, we'll see if you're right. He might come just now to spite you.
No, my predictions. That's my prediction. He won't be there.
Okay. Men's physique won by Youssef Judy from France. Well, France did very good in this show. You didn't help him, did you?
No.
Okay. Saudi Arabia was second. Michel El Hassan. And third was from Spain, Ramsey Fernandez. So we got a good international field. Women's bodybuilding, Monique Jones comes out of retirement. I thought she was done. I guess she's back.
She demolished the Russian girl.
Yeah, well, the Russian girl, I don't think was in the lineup.
Unless you judge it by the pictures, then she'd get demolished by the Russian girl.
Robin Hills from Canada, second, and Elena, I can't even pronounce the last name, from Romania, was third. But Monique, she destroyed this lineup. Unfortunately, there's no Miss Olympia to qualify for, but she did qualify for that, the Wings of Strength Rising Phoenix show next year. I always said that I used to work with Monique years ago. I always said Monique was a true talent. She just had trouble getting in shape. And I think maybe her mindset's a little better now. She's in a better place. And so congratulations to her. Good person. Great person. Love her. Women's fitness, Darian Borello from the U.S. We kind of predicted that on Muscle in the Morning this past week. She wins. She'll go to the Olympia. She's got a great routine. In the pro figure division, we had a victory from Korea, Chris. Anja Jung from Korea wins. She'll be going to the Olympia. I don't even know if there was ever been a Korean figure competitor who's gone to the Olympia. This might be a first.
I think you might be right.
Yeah. Second place was Martina Yabakova from Canada. She's been to the Olympia before. And third place was Anna Banks from Poland. Congratulations to those ladies. In the bikini division, we had Cristobalina Pajares from Spain dominate this lineup with straight first places. Nora Mahonen from Finland, second place. And Alicia Fachin from Italy, third. Congratulations. Women's physique. Christina Chadi from... Laura Pintada Chinchilla from Spain wins. So Spain really cleaning up here. Margita Zamalova from the Czech Republic. I love her physique. Second. And Lorraine Moan from France. Third. So there you go. Gary, you did judge that show, and it was a lot of classes. They gave out a lot of money. And I guess it was a success. Look, as long as Wings of Strength keeps sponsoring these shows, they're going to happen. Now maybe they made a few bucks. I don't know. I don't know how many amateur athletes there were. So it was smart that they had an amateur show, so that can help at least fund a little bit of the show. But they had to fly. Tim Gardner had to fly in there. Gary Udit had to fly in there. They had to fly. I'm sure they had to pay for some of the top talent to come in there. So it had to cost a few bucks. But look, and I tip my hat. If anyone who supports the sport of bodybuilding, as the Wings of Strength have over the last so many years, is you gotta say thank you to them, because if it wasn't for them, there would be no women's bodybuilding. I'm glad that they're injecting some more money into the other divisions, because that's going to help grow the sport, and we should all thank them. Hopefully Jake over there will continue to do it for many years to come. Once again, what else is going on? Let me see. Let me check my notes. I got an email, Chris, from Mike Matarazzo's ex-wife, or not his wife, I guess his wife, his widow, Linda. Do you know her? I never met her. She just wanted. We've been going back and forth, and one of the things, I guess she was a little irked about is that these people. Remember we were talking about Photoshop before. That these millennial people are they're false advertising. She doesn't like that. She's from the generation where, guys got Photoshop. Guys would do shows. They would do photo shoots, like Mike, her husband. And, those are legitimate, pictures that were in the magazines. And it's like nowadays, anyone, like you said, the top Olympia guys can't beat the people on Instagram anymore, because the Instagram guys are so good at photoshopping the pictures, or whatever, putting filters on them, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I mean, it's. I mean, you see pictures of people, and
are we living in as my dad would say, a paper mache society where we can't trust the images that we're actually looking at as being real? In other words, think about the people who are like the most popular on Instagram. It's all visual images that people are responding to, and we don't even know if these pictures are legitimate or not. Most of them aren't. Most of them are filtered.
Well, it's
like you're giving yourself an instant facelift without doing anything.
Yeah, no. Your father was talk about predictions. Did he used to say that? Paper mache society, because that's where we are.
That's his famous saying. Yeah.
I mean that's
the way it is. It's true. I call it. I mean,
her name is Linda Penskool. She actually thinks that. this is a far-fetched theory, but she thinks that she told me that she feels that all especially bodybuilders and athletes should not sign the organ donor part of their license. You know, where you decide that
the aliens will find out and they'll come down and suck them out of your body. I think
she thinks that people are being targeted. Athletes are being targeted for. I don't know how if they're being targeted, they're being killed. She thinks the rash of deaths we seeing in the bodybuilding industry has something to do with harvesting organs. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's an interesting theory for sure. I don't know who would want bodybuilders' organs anyway. They're usually not very good. They're not very healthy. I don't know if I would want to, if I needed a kidney transplant, I don't know if I would want to take another bodybuilder's kidney from him. First of all, it might not be good for the bodybuilder wanting to donate the kidney to give up one. Secondly, it might not be in the best shape,
Did Palumbo, he's only alive because he stole some kidneys? Because he took so much
to
anabolics
Brazil?
trying to be as big as me?
He went to Brazil, and he says he was there to see John of God and to find peace and tranquility, but he was actually he was lifting a kidney from one of the one of the indigenous Indians. he took his medical school knowledge and he used chloroform and he drugged them and he left them in a bathtub. Except he is greedy. He did not take one kidney. He took both kidneys. That is why he is healthy and I am dead now. Oh, what a sicko I am! But yeah, that's it's an interesting theory nonetheless. But I don't know. Everyone's got theories out there, I guess, right?
everyone's got a theory. I mean, that's you always hear someone harvesting. I mean, it's so I don't know, so sinister sounding that people believe it.
Well, I'm sure there's a black market trade for organs out there. I'm sure of it. I don't doubt that if you had enough money, you could buy a kidney from someone.
You can buy anything if you have. Yeah. You know what? You can buy absolutely anything with money.
Yep.
And that is, you know what, I was thinking, and people with a lot of money, I was just having this comment, people with a lot of money sometimes try to buy anything. You know, I mean, they push the envelope in terms of what they should be looking at or doing or getting involved with, and not just because they have so much money. I mean, right. You can only spend so much, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. I agree. But who knows? I think that there's a lot of people who have these conspiracy theories, and I think most conspiracies are not founded in anything truthful. I think people just, if you live your life worried about that there's conspiracies going on behind the scenes, you're not going to live a very happy life.
You think Ted Cruz's father shot JFK? Because that's what that's what Trump floated during the election. Ted Cruz's father shot JFK.
No, Trump. Yeah, but Trump is like Nasser. He's doing it as a goof. But there are people out there that I know that think that everything's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
And the truth is, who cares? Just live your life. Most of the conspiracy is not going to affect you anyway. So nothing you can do about it. Live your life and worry about your family and everything that goes on around your immediate situation. You can't control, world peace, and you can't. You can affect things, by living by your convictions, but you can't be all stressed out all the time over everything that's going on in this world, thinking that the World Trade Center was whatever. Controlled explosion, to get us to go to war. I mean, it's not going to change your life if it's true or not. Who cares?
So I do still have trouble with that. I thought of that the other day. That building, like the next day, that collapsed on itself.
Yeah,
you've seen that video, right?
Yeah, I've seen all the speculative stuff and all the.
Well, yeah. How did it just collapse?
You know what? Yeah, but you know what the truth is? They said that another thing they said was that there was no plane that ever hit the Pentagon.
Oh yeah, I've seen that too.
But you know what? The guy the chef, the White House chef that I interviewed.
Oh, he would definitely know.
He was there. He was there when the plane hit it. He was there, so he confirmed that it was.
Why don't you get an invite to the White House by the chef?
I don't know. I should. I didn't ask him. I didn't even think to ask.
What's it? Jay and Guy went to the White House.
Now I have an in too. I didn't even think about that. Maybe I should ask him.
You might be able to get the interview with Trump over the interview with Arnold.
I was going to say, I'd probably more likely have a better chance of interviewing Trump.
Well, they don't like each other, so tell Trump, I've been trying to get this Arnold interview for years. Trump will say,
Yeah, Trump will like, I'll interview with you, don't worry about it, yeah.
Well, you can tell him you already interviewed Roger Stone as one of his, cronies.
Amin is going to visit Roger Stone.
I made the prediction about Roger Stone, didn't I, Dave?
About what?
I said he was going to be indicted.
Oh yeah, he's.
I said that to you. I think I said it. On the air. I said the guy's going down.
Maybe I should go to dinner with him then. He might be his last dinner. It'd be like the Last Supper.
Well, he can always do a plea agreement.
I don't think he'll rat anyone out.
No, he won't. No way.
He'll probably get like 6 months in prison or something like that, and he'll come out and write a book. He'll write a book.
Yeah, I'll make a prediction.
Yeah.
He will not say anything.
No.
And Trump will pardon him the minute he's in there.
I don't think he'll have to. I think he'll get like 6 months. So he'll do the 6 months.
Well, he don't want to do the 6 months.
Yeah, he'll do it. No, he'll do it. He'll do it because he's a trooper. He'll come out ahead on that one, guaranteed.
Yeah, actually, you know what? You might be right. If it's only 6 months, then he might come out and write a book.
Yeah, he'll sit in there. He'll do his.
He'll be a martyr in there.
Yeah. It'll be great. No,
that's got to be one of your father's words too, right? Martyr. Is it? I'm just making a prediction.
Well, yeah, he was always calling everyone a martyr.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I've never met him. Anyone who says paper mache world we're living in would also seem to like the word martyr.
At 2 a.m, all these toys keep going off in the house. That's and Amanda's like, it's got to be your dad, because that's like that was his like witching hour. That's like when he was he used to call me on the phone at 2 a.m. Which usually back in my heyday was fine because I didn't go to bed till 4 in the morning. But then once I started going to bed earlier, because of work and this and that and kids, I was like, Dad, you can't call me 2 a.m. And then he couldn't remember what time it was, so it didn't even matter. He just called me. I just have to turn my ringer off, at night. But so yeah, he's definitely. So my son has this like little place cell phone, even though he doesn't use it because he wants the real thing. The thing's been going off every night at like 2 a.m. I actually took a video of it. I caught it.
Well, I told you, once you hear like a glass of wine filling up, then you know.
Then my dad's definitely.
Your father's on the premise.
My son wakes up sometimes in the middle of the night, and my wife's like, "What are you getting up for?" Papa. So, who knows? He could be waking my son up too. He's definitely still participating. He wants to let everyone know he's still here, and I know he is, which is good. I told you, he's the least. Spiritual person of all time, while he was alive. Now he's like the spiritual essence of everything,
Well, maybe
isn't that the ultimate irony? People who are the biggest deniers of everything become when they see the world from a different set of eyes. They completely
sometimes
change.
That's what it takes, right?
Yeah. Sometimes it does.
That's why some people lose their wealth.
Why?
So that they can see how the other world lives.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. You're probably right.
Well, they lose their health temporarily or permanently. So that they can, realize what they had or what they might get back.
So next weekend, John Enrico Pica is promoting the Kai Green Classic in Venice, Italy. Not Venice, California. Venice, Italy.
Nice place to be.
Yeah. Should be fun.
Why didn't you go to before you go to Dubai, head out to Venice?
No, that's all right. I don't need.
We could do we could do this. Me and you could go to Venice, and then you and I could fly up to Dubai. We should take Jose with us, and then we could get a triple split divorce. We could
split divorce. Yeah, exactly.
When we get back, we can have one lawyer represent us for.
That's right.
Jose, you and my wife.
That's right. Well, they're giving out 8 pro cards at the amateur division, and then of course they have the pro. I don't know what the divisions of the pro. It's only bikini and men's physique. You'd think with a Kai Green Classic you'd have to have open bodybuilding, right? Come on, man.
Yeah, I would think so. Oh, I had someone. You know what? Talk about a crazy story. Because we did talk about, the competitor. Anyways, we did talk about someone who I helped who went on stage with completely no oil. He did win his pro card regardless, so he must have looked pretty good. But someone I helped, Dave, and has been, when people knocking on the door, he was not knocking on the door like 9th place, 7th place. He was knocking on the door on these European shows where you win your class, you turn pro, and he's won shows before, and he's extremely good. And he's been second at these shows, and not distant second. I mean, like, could go either way.
Right.
And he went to Romania, and he missed the damn prejudging.
Ugh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Well, they had the show also in Macau, and I've been to Macau. Macau is like the Las Vegas of the Asian continent.
Biggest. Although it's the biggest gambling city in the world. Although I read today, Vegas has the biggest pot store in the United States right now.
I had someone contact me. I'm getting so distracted. I have so many fun things to say. Someone contacted me who's working. Mike Tyson's got some new cream that came out. It's like a CBD oil cream, and he's out of Vegas too. And so they wanted me to try it. So I basically told him, I said, look, I'll try it, but get me the interview with Mike Tyson. We'll talk about it. So it's out there. You never know.
What about what's the CBD?
CBD, the cannabinoid oil. Yeah, cannabinoid oil.
What about
Jay? Because Jay's got a big.
How about pot fiberlize?
Pot fiberlize. Yeah, well, Jay's a big medical marijuana distributor, right? And
I don't know, is he?
Yeah, I heard he is. And so now Mike Tyson's getting it. Everyone's getting it. I'm purposely not getting into it because I don't want to. I don't want to jump on the bandwagon. It's
you know what?
It's like
you want to know about
by the way, you sold your Bitcoin. Bitcoin is in the toilet now.
Let me finish. Bitcoin, which is getting killed. Yeah. Pot stocks are the Bitcoin.
Thank God I didn't listen to you. Thank God I didn't listen to you and get invest in Bitcoin because I would have never sold it.
Listen, you can go back to these shows, and I had a entry point and an exit point.
You were smart. Did you make money?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. I would have lost money because I would have held it too long. I would have held it too long.
Yeah, because you know what? When an investment, what happens with a lot of people is something like that goes up, and then it starts going down, and they get scared to sell because they're too greedy, even though there's a profit there. Instead of taking the profit, they say, "I wanted to go back up to 20,000."
My problem is I would have forgotten that I even bought it, and so I would have gone into the toilet. So I'm glad I didn't do it.
Well, the pot stocks are the same thing right now. I mean, they're so overvalued, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, you'll always make money in marijuana because people want to get high, but right? I mean, you can't go wrong there. But it's going to be too many people involved. I don't want to be bothered with it. To be honest with you, it doesn't interest me. Speaking. So now, where was I going with the whole age? So they had this big show, this global Super Bowl of bodybuilding in Macau this past weekend, and one of my clients, Majid, he was in it. He won the heavyweight class. He lost the overall, unfortunately. He didn't get his pro card, so I wanted to just congratulate Majid on that. But he, I had hooked him up with my friend Pedro Gomez there, who is, him and his mom used to own a gym together there, and I know him for forever. And so he was competing there, and so they all hung out. All my friends, Pavel, also another guy who we met when we went to Macau. You probably forgot, we held a Bros versus Pros in Macau.
I didn't forget.
Yeah,
it was you brought a contingency of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because they were ordering a lot of pot fiberlize.
No, we went to Macau. We held a Bros versus Pros at the Macau Fitness Center there. We had a great time. We went to Hong Kong. We had like I said, it was an enjoyable time. I loved it. I said, I wish it wasn't, a 24-hour flight away from us. I said, because it would be a great place to go visit. So I'm glad to see bodybuilding has made its way to Macau, and it should have. It's like, look, if you're going to hold the Olympia in Vegas, you got to hold a big show. I'm surprised Arnold didn't move into Macau and hold the show there, because that would be the perfect place to do it.
Didn't Arnold had something going on over there, right?
They had something in I think they did something in Hong Kong, the Asia Arnold one year. It was a failure. I think it was a failure. I don't think it succeeded.
It's funny, right?
Yeah, well, it's sometimes things don't catch on so quickly. It's a different culture. But I think bodybuilding is getting really big over there now. So who knows? Now they got this next week. They also got this other show in where is this thing? Is this China too? It's called the Jicheng Classic Sonya. I don't know where it is though. It's in Sanya, China. There you go. I didn't even know Sanya was a city. Sanya.
It's probably like twice the size of New York or something.
Probably.
Sanya, China. Look it up, Dave. See how big it is.
I'm not looking it up. I'm not that interested. But I'm glad to see that the Chinese... China was always very closed. There was nothing going on in China. Now it's like people are readily going there. I like that it's opened up. It's one of the... It's probably landmass-wise, right? The biggest country in the world.
It looks... The city looks beautiful. I'm looking at it right now, Sanya, China.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous.
I'm sure they're going to do it up right because they want to really make a good first impression. So that should be exciting. They're starting out men's physique, I think, in bikini, but I guarantee you, within 5 years, you will have a major pro opens men's bodybuilding show with a lot of money up for grabs. The men's physique is giving $20,000 away for the prize money, and the bikini's giving $20,000 away. Talk about money! You want to go make money? If you're a bikini or men's physique person, you better get your butt out there.
What they have in Classic, maybe I can get Waleed.
No Classic. It's starting with bikini. It seems like they all start with bikini and men's physique. It's like the starter kit. You know, when you go to the store, you get the starter kit.
No.
You got to start with that.
Why don't they have the bodybuilder?
I don't know.
Want to deal with them, or?
Maybe they want to make sure that it runs smoothly. They figure if they screw bikini up, no one will care. You know, you screw bodybuilding up, everyone. People like us, criticize you. So. Who really knows who should win bikini anyway? There's no real standard anyway. It's whatever.
I want to go next year to Sanya, China.
Sanya, China. We'll send Chris Aceto. I don't want to go. Chris, you go.
I'll go.
You'll represent. All right, and that's it. That's really all she wrote. It was once again we're approaching December quickly. I'm going to be getting my shoulder replaced on the 17th, but I will be out in Dubai on the 7th and 8th. Actually, the 6th, 7th, and 8th. And I'll be doing interviews with all the top guys at the Dubai Muscle Show. And it's going to be, I guess that'll be my last hurrah before I get my shoulder done and I'm debilitated for 6 weeks. I'm looking forward to it, though. My right shoulder, the one that now is the bad one, is on its last legs. You know how when you know it's time to do something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm at that point. I've reached that point of wanting to fix it at this point. And then, I played soccer this past weekend. Not really, but my son went to his cousin's houses. We have Amanda has a cousin who's got 6 kids, and Logan was the youngest, but they were all having fun, and then we were running around, and I became a soccer coach all of a sudden. My soccer roots came back to me, and I was instructing on how to do things. So I was running. I don't even know how I was running around because I have that one bad leg. It's
you'll feel it tomorrow. You'll need some Motrin.
I did it yesterday, and today I felt pretty good. Maybe I'll get the delayed muscle soreness. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I was all my soccer roots came back to me. So it was pretty fun. I'm looking forward to. I know you're in that stage, right? I'm not looking forward to taking my kids to soccer practice, but I'm looking forward to actually seeing my son playing sports because I think that's going to be fun. I could live vicariously through him now.
Yeah. Well, my youngest is asking me, "Are you going to be my track coach?" I don't know where he even came up with that.
You never even ran track. How are you going to be a track coach? You have to read a book like some of these other guys do.
I don't know anything about. When it comes to most sports,
call Steve Wennerstrom up. Steve Wennerstrom used to be a track coach.
Oh, I didn't know.
Women's track coach. Yeah, maybe he can catch up.
I just encourage them to be at practices early, and during the games, I always my standard yell is like hustle.
I see that Chad Nichols' son is throwing the discus.
Oh, he's a freak.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's a freak in strength.
Yeah, he was squatting like 400 or something like that?
Yeah,
what is
crazy,
he, 12 years
crazy.
old or something like
I wonder what he did in discus. My son was state champion in discus. Maybe I can find out. And my son's natural. I don't think Chad's is natural. I'm just kidding, Chad. I'm kidding, Chad.
That's like a Nasser statement right there. Go on Chad's Facebook.
I saw Chris's son. He won the discus, but
he was juicing?
Chris hasn't been in the gym in 20 years. The son is 3 times as big as him. I think he might have kept in his lockbox at his father's house up in the attic a few D-ball that he puts into his sons. I think they should test him on the discus.
I think Chris has Milos putting his son on insulin.
They inhale it and they use the the contact lenses.
The insulin contact lenses, right?
I'm wondering. Find out from Chad what his son did. I got to find out what the.
It's on his Facebook. I think he threw he was showing practice throws. He was throwing like 120 feet or something like that. I don't know. There's different weights. There's different weights.
Yeah. I definitely want to find out because I know my son does more than 120, but he couldn't. But Chad's son's like a freak in the gym. Maybe he's too muscle bound.
No, there was two. One was 150. One was one. I don't know. You got to look. I don't know anything about it. I'm out of the game too long. So you got to go look it up. But the kid's 12 years old, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
He looks like a cross between Chad and Kim, though, too, which is pretty funny.
Yeah. My son was a state champion, I think, 12
Oh,
years
he was
ago.
state champion. I didn't know that.
Discus.
Wow.
That's
Impressive.
what I'm saying.
Is this high school or this is like middle school?
AAU.
Oh, they still have the AAU still around?
Yeah, it's different from the NPC.
No, I thought the AAU was gotten rid of.
No, they still have they have AAU, whatever. That's who does Junior Olympics.
Gotcha. Cool. Maybe you'll get a scholarship from
Oh
discus.
God, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, save you about $100,000 probably by the time your kid goes to school.
Oh, they'll just be, go to plumbing school easier.
Plumbing school. Yeah, you can employ him to fix all the apartments.
All the leaks, all the stuff.
That's right. He'll probably be better than the people you hire, I'm sure.
Or of course we can just. We can.
He's got to take over the Aceto empire, though, Chris.
We're gonna buy the property next to you, and we're gonna have the zoo.
There you go. I told you you're the only person I'll sell to. If you say, "Hey, Dave, I'm moving to Florida," you can buy the property from us.
Or we could do, Bodybuilding Hall of Fame next door.
Dave has sold the property to Chris Aceto.
We can get Christian Duque to run it. Did I tell you something at the Nationals?
Yeah, I think
he came up to me and yelled at me, "It's Duke!" And I said, "Okay, Duque."
You gonna have him run the zoo for us, Christian Duke?
Oh.
Yeah. Well, maybe he needs a job because he was being nice to me. He was sending me some text messages. I really didn't respond very much. I kind of just was polite. At this point, I have really nothing to say to him. But he's been pretty quiet. I haven't heard anything from him. He must be on his medication or something like that. I'm just kidding. Don't text me, Christian. I'm just joking. Yes. Dave has only opened a zoo so that he can get the steroids for legally and distribute them to his children so that they can get scholarships and beat the other kids unfairly in the sports arena. And I hear Chris Aceto is also using them. That is why his son is throwing the discus so far. All right. On that note, yes, it is time to go. We will be back next week. Remember, with Heavy Muscle Radio.
The truth hurts.
No, Chris, it is not. That is not true. The truth does not hurt. It is the only. I only tell the truth. I do not make up these things. People accuse me of being a liar, but it is truly Greg Kovacs that is the liar. He has caused me to have to use more anabolics than I did because he was lying to me about the dosages he was taking. All right, Nasser, can you shut up? We got to go. We're out of time. Chris, I'll talk to you next week.